Representing the Republic of Korea.
1号板来自韩国。
김우진. 김진덕. 이우석.
Which the Koreans won. Korean lineup with Kim Woo-jin, Kim Jae-duk and Lee Woo-suk. France with Baptiste Adis, Thomas Shiro and Jean-Charles Valadon. Stepping up to the line to begin this gold medal match, it's the Korean trio.
I'm guessing that the Korean team has had some pointers from their women's team as well. They have been in the venue, and they were probably able to give them some information about the circumstances.
You talked about we expect greatness, but coming out onto this finals range for the first time, straight into the middle of the target.
Eight.
Bit of adjustment needed on the French side of things. Quite a young team, generally speaking. Person on the line right here, Jean-Charles Valadon. He's had about 18 years of international experience so far, so I'm guessing that they will find their footing and get on with it in a bit.
Valadon, the silver medalist at Rio 2016, anchoring the team, Baptiste Adis. Koreans effortless. They make this sport look so easy, and it really isn't. They are shooting arrows 70 meters down the line, and the consistency and the ability to adapt to the conditions is just quite exceptional. Kim Woo-jin anchoring the team for Korea. There are really no words.
The bar is set.
It's phenomenal. So the set's already gone for the French team. And maybe there's some expectation that they need to use the first set as a sighter. But boy, oh boy, they cannot afford eights. And that's a second one from Thomas Shiro.
He shoots his arrows close to each other, means that he can adjust his sight, and at least he's consistent. So that's a good base to start from.
9.
Same could be said for JC here. Adjust his sight a bit, which he was also doing. So yes, there's a big difference in score this first set, but it doesn't mean that the match is over.
And that is some promise from Baptiste Adis, putting the final arrow into the 10. The set was already gone.
Into the match, so that's a good reference for you. Another world-class team shooting a 53 to get into the match, compared to the 60 that Korea put down.
France trailing 1-0 after the first set, and the French really have to find the center of the target from now on.
9.
Promising. Jean-Charles Valadon, 36 years old, world number 18.
7.
7环，
Not very promising.
Rio 2016 individuals silver at the Olympic Games. Paris 2024 team silver, as well as the individual European Championship bronze.
You say bronze, but I think in 2016 he won the European Championships.
Bronze in 24.
Okay.
9.
9环，
First arrow outside of the 10 for Korea, but they have some room to play with. You can definitely see a little bit of wind picking up on the finals venue, and that's why it's ever important to keep communicating with your teammates about where to aim, where you have aimed, and what the result of that arrow was. Thomas Giraud with a custom paint job on his bow riser, the French colors. Mostly white, but some red and blue
7.
splashes on there.
1环确定，
Not really relevant to the match, but fun detail nonetheless.
It's the first one of the match.
Nine.
9环，
Not much that the French team can do here to prevent Korea from winning this set. A 26 is a very gettable goal for the Korean team, especially in this form. But what they can do and get ready for well, an inevitable third set.
10环，
Which I think is the beauty of the set system. Even if you're 4-0 behind, it doesn't mean that you're out of it.
10.
Well, that is more than enough. 60 in the first set, 57 in the second, and Korea go 4-0 up in the recurve men's team gold medal match against a French team that really need to find the middle of the target.
Get 5 set points and therefore win the match. So France will have to do everything they have to win the next two.
They're going to shoot first in this third set, and you have to say they've got to be finding that 10 ring just a little more often. A must-win set for the French team. They are 4-0 down against Korea. Thomas Giraud on the shooting line. Can JC Valadon follow suit?
It's a pretty good shot there from JC, albeit a bit sluggish, but he's known for being able to shoot very bad shots still in the middle. 29 is a very good start for the French team here.
Some promise, for sure. World number 5, Lee Woo-suk, starting the first rotation for the Koreans in this third set.
Definitely some wind on there.
There was a big wobble, wasn't there, on the shooting line?
the difference here between shooting a recurve bow in the wind and a compound bow in the wind is that with a recurve, you pretty much release as soon as the clicker goes, so you can see a little drawing indicator. But you can see your bow hand and your release hand as soon as the clicker goes, so you can kind of alter the path of the arrow at the very last moment, whereas with a compound that's very difficult to do.
Leveling up is what the Koreans need to do to secure this match in 3 sets, and they've done just that. So the pressure switches back over to the French side.
8.
8环，
Ooh. They were doing so well, and now that 8 is kind of opening the door for Korea.
Bit of pressure now on Valadon and Adis.
9.
9环，
10.
10环，
59, the maximum that Korea can achieve. They need 3 10s for that, but 3 9s would be enough to take gold here in Shanghai.
10.
10环，
Kim Jae-deok on the line. Well, number 23, the lowest ranked of the 3 Koreans.
9.
9环，
So an 8 enough for the win. Kim has shot nothing but 10 so far.
10.
10环，
And why change things? A clear win for Korea, 6-0. They have taken the recurve men's team gold medal here in Shanghai against a French team that just couldn't get out of the starting blocks quick enough. Silver for France, gold for Korea.
Congratulations, Dunn and best number 1. Representing the Republic of Korea,
1号板来自韩国，
Ansa. Kanchiyu. In Shihyun.
朱静怡，
Elijah.
Yue, Li Jiaman, and Zhu
World Cup final champion.
Jingyi.
And up against a
Like last season,
for the Republic.
Korea did not attend the first stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. And San on the shooting line to start the gold rush.
9环，
Where last year we saw a relatively unexperienced Korean team, this is very much an all-star lineup we have here with well, more Olympic medals than I can count on my both hands, I think.
Ten. 10环，
China begin with Zhu Jingyi.
8.
8环，
For China, this is going to be an interesting match to shoot as well in front of their home crowd. Some archers deal with it differently than others. I like shooting in front of a home crowd, but there's also people that don't really like shooting in front of a home crowd because it can add some pressure. So it's a bit of a different situation than what they're used to, maybe.
Well, Huang feeling the pressure and making some big changes to her sight. Jiman anchoring goes into the 10. That should settle the nerves. Set system in play in recurve archery, which means the scores are self-contained within each set. If you win a set, you get 2 points. If you draw, it's 1. If you lose, it's no points. Target score for the win?
6 set points. Sorry, 5 set points. It's team.
Nine.
9番
Kang shooting in the middle for Korea. And here's Sion anchoring the team. So 56 points just out of reach from Team China. So the set points are going to go to Korea here, but these are in effect practice arrows for the next set.
Yeah, they're going to be valuable for the, especially first two archers to figure out why the first arrow didn't hit the middle, or at least to figure out if they can do something to hit the middle in the next set. Because in the set system, it doesn't matter if you lose the first set, because you can easily get back as long as you do this. So, yeah, like you said, it's a bit of practice and some time to find your footing.
Nine.
9番
Well, the first set has been
So 53 set by China to start the match. Not enough for Korea.
Never leaving the goal in the yellow section on the target face. Nine.
Now, you talked about gold medals at the single Olympic Games in Tokyo. China trailing by 2. We go into set 2. And they come up to the shooting line. Ju Jingyi, 18 years old, world number 46. Gets us underway.
And I'm surprised to see that arrow hit pretty much the exact center of the target, because it looked so quick and uncontrolled. But yeah, for some reason, well, she knows what she's doing, obviously.
Huang following suit, just 20 years old, world number 133. Now the world number 7. The Jiman.
A bit of a long hold for her, but still within the gold. 28, not a bad first rotation, but well, shooting against the Korean team, you might want to put some more pressure on.
9.
9番
And San, surprisingly low ranking of number 80 in the world. I'm not sure that really tells the full story, given that she didn't compete last season. Also not competing on the main circuit last season. Kang Chae-young down at world number 40.
Yeah, which makes it all the more impressive that they still have relatively high world rankings, because that means that they've had some really good results the year prior, because they have probably been halved all those results.
Certainly no loss of form, and there's a good deal of camaraderie going on the Korean side of the shooting line. Not to say there isn't on the Chinese side. They're definitely communicating with each other.
Some really good shooting here for the Chinese team, and that is exactly what they should be doing, seeing as Korea has a potential of 59 points for this set.
9.
9番
Is that dropped point going to be the difference? In the absence of Korea, China won the first stage in Central Florida just a few weeks back.
9.
9番
Yeah, and they're essentially in the same shoes as the US team they were shooting against in Florida. They're shooting in front of their home crowd against a team that on paper is a very difficult one to beat. So getting a taste of their own medicine, maybe?
9.
9番
So this arrow needs to go in the 10, otherwise China will level up. And it does go into the 10. Sion, world number 1 in the anchor position for the Korean team, levels up in the set. Set point shared, subject of course to confirmation from the target judge.
Normally I would say there was a lot of pressure that might be a burden on the archer, but I feel like these Korean archers are so used to shooting. So if you get used to shooting arrows under pressure, which I think makes the arrows less pressure laden.
Experience of the pressure alleviates it to some extent, that is for sure. And we have had confirmation. Scores tied in the second set. Korea still lead by 2. Set number 3. Zhu back on the shooting line. Well, an 8 at 70 meters is by no means a bad shot, but against the Koreans, 8s are going to be a problem.
Good job from Lee Jae-man there, putting that one in the 10, because 28 is still a fairly good score, so important to get that one in.
And Sands lost none of her verve.
No, it's a very impressive shooting so far. Last arrow of Ansan was the first 10 that she shot, but so far Korea has stayed completely within the gold, so very consistent. That is the obvious thing to happen after I say that everything is within the gold.
Curse of the commentator, but it does mean that at the halfway stage in this set, China for the first time are leading the way. It means they had control until that 9. They had control of the set.
With a pair of 10s, they could have made sure Korea couldn't beat them this set, but that 8 is not very well timed.
Highest ranked Chinese archer on the line, Lee Jae-man. She really needs a 10 here. Dropped into the 9. High 9, set a 54 target. So Korea have a big opportunity here to close this one out.
Ooh.
Now, that's been called an 8 in venue. Do you agree with that? That could have been in the 7.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a 7 asterisk. That's at least what I would put it as.
Asterisk meaning it will go for a measure. Needed.
So a 10 here, and that first arrow will turn out to be very important for the match result.
It's gone into the 9, and we are set up for a thriller here.
Still important now, that line call.
Absolutely. So provisionally the same score in the set of 54, though we've got it marked down as 53 now. So potentially that 8 called in venue has already been adjusted to a 7. Let's have a look. Looking for the target judge to point his index finger up or down. Up is good for Korea, down is great for China, and it is down. It is a 7. So 53 points for the Koreans against China's 54. And by my calculations, we're all square on set points, 3-3 going into the final set.
Yeah, and I think you're correct, which is not really what the match feels like, but that 1-7.
It's let's crack on, let's get this done. We've got an absolutely brilliant 4th set to come here between 2 arch rivals. Good start, eh, Chef?
It's a very good start, and it's a very nice match to watch for the home crowd as well, I think.
Now, we've had a correction here that the scores were leveled up, 54. So it must mean that one of the other arrows for Korea was marked up.
Yeah, I think that was the second arrow of the set, then, the 9-10 liner of Kang Chae-yeon.
So the contest has changed somewhat here in that Korea lead 4-2, and that means that China must win this set.
Seven.
Back on target. Impressive recovery there as well, going from a 7 back into the X-ring of the target.
They will be buoyed by that 7, and I have to say that from China, I should say, the first arrow from Zhu is also up for a measure, currently marked as an 8.
Yeah, and mind you, Korea only has to tie this set to win the match.
Sion.
Nine.
Not the best shot. There's a bit of a, I don't know if it's hesitation, but a bit of a delay in the shot when the clicker went.
3 massive arrows for China here. They really could do with at least a couple of 10s.
9.
There you go.
Huang hands over to Lee Jiman.
Eight.
That's drifted out to the 8. So, a reprieve for the Korean team, edging the 3rd set into a tied set. And now An San makes up for the 7 she threw down in the 4th arrow of the previous set. Just 15 points required from 2 arrows for Korea, and you have to fancy them now.
It might not matter, but there is an arrow up for a measure in the Chinese team. So I'm inclined to say 16 for the win, so 6 now, just to be sure.
Surely. That is within Lim Sion's grasp.
9.
Yes, it is a 9 for Korea. It was a more tricky match than perhaps they intended, but the Koreans have returned to Shanghai and have taken the gold medal in the recurve women's team competition.
Indeed, and the very first gold medal available for the taking here. What a team on Korea.
The Korean All-Stars return to the fray. They've really started to put on a show on top of the podium. Gold medal for Korea's An San, Kang Chae-young and Lim Si-hyun.
Kang Chae-young. Si-hyun. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause.